I got a question. Is it sexist to call old Feinstein tell old say? I don't think so. I don't think so. I've been doing it at least 2 or 3 times so far in my streaming career, and I guess we're doing it again.
Look, this has been a discussion for a long time because she was out sick with shingles, and then she's been back for about 6 weeks. I have to very quickly say, I covered the Congress for a long time. I watched Senator Strom Thurmond with his staff basically acting as other senators who aged that were male.
Yeah.
How much of this do you think is that she is not a male?
Well, look, that's her.
Emergency meeting! Emergency meeting! This is dumb. This is, listen,
I'm gonna drop a hot take that people aren't gonna like.
This is the dumbest fucking take I think I've heard in a long fucking time. Like, this is just really fucking stupid. This framing that they're already doing, like, oh, could it be because, like, I mean, there have been old men, but could it be because, like, you know, she's, like, an old woman? Shut the fuck up. No, it's the fact that she's old. Like, she is cripplingly old. Like, she's old. She's, like, really, really fucking old. Like, hold on. Can it possibly be, I'm just saying, because she happens to be absent on an important committee doing important things? It couldn't be. Yeah, no, it definitely couldn't. It couldn't be that. No, it's because she's a fucking old woman, and not because, like, she's incapable of doing her fucking job. So fucking stupid. Are they afraid it will break her heart to retire? Who cares?
All of you, please, for the love of God, shut the fuck up. You're all so annoying. Shut the fuck up. I don't care. Shut the fuck up. I don't care what your fucking take is on this shitty... Who cares?
Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Well, oh no, they think I'm too old for... What have I been doing? Oh no, I'm too old to... Do I fix vending machines? I don't remember. It's just like, get her the fuck out. Get her out. Get her out. Like, that's the issue. It's not that she's a woman. It's not... It's she's old. Call that ageist if you want. You're like old people. Shut the fuck up, bitch.
Did you hear about what Vosh said about you? Yeah, I think he said I'm a Nazi. He thinks everyone's a Nazi. I'm not really concerned if a horse fucker thinks I'm a Nazi, though.
Catalina Gearbox says, too old for these nuts.
Yo, you need to stop with, like, being, like, so right on the motherfucking money. I have a near non-discriminatory cock. My phallus isn't really too picky. You know, 20, whatever. 80 if you look good, like Martha Stewart. Hey, I'm down. Never in my life would I ever moisturize the dust that is Dianne Feinstein. And I mean that in the most political way possible, okay?
How much of this do you think is that she is not a male?
Well, look, that's certainly part of what's going on here. And one encounter that I had over the course of the reporting the story was Nancy Pelosi. I was walking down the hall with her. She saw another reporter who had written a story about Feinstein, and she said, think about all the people you've seen, all the men who have been in bad shape. I'm not going to name them, but you know who they are. And so that is definitely a factor here. Feinstein...
Wow, it's almost like there's a common denominator of a problem here that isn't being fucking acknowledged. Instead, we just want to, like, deviate and distract people from the real fucking issue, which might just be, we have dinosaurs elected in office. I don't know. It's just a theory of mine. I don't know. It could be... what the fuck do I know, right? It's not like we have, like, literally geriatric octogenarians in the halls of power that dictate our entire lives, and even though like literally half the country is under the age of like 30 at this point. As a matter of fact, I wanna hold on. Holy fuck! Look how many like really old people there are. 85 and over, like less than 6%. That's crazy. Okay, 80 to 84 is 2.7% male, 3.61% female. So we're talking less than 10% of the country are over the age of 80. So I gotta be quite frank, why should we give a fuck what they have to say about like the future of our fucking country? Why should I give a shit? For real, like honestly, because I really don't. Typically being defined as people born from 1981 to 1996. Okay, so the oldest, right? The oldest, 2023 minus 1981 would be 42. The oldest millennial would be 42 right now, okay? So, like, we're talking, like, yeah. So 40 to 44 and down, we're talking, like, give or take 60 to 70%. I'm gonna lowball it and say, like, 60 to 65%, okay? I don't care what old people want. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke, everyone. Don't take that too seriously, okay? Don't take that too seriously. I'm not fucking kidding. I don't care. I don't care. Like, you guys have had a long fucking time to fix shit, and you fucking didn't. And every time that evidence came up that was put in your face, like, hey, there's this problem, and your generation is responsible for it, so you need to fix it. Clean up your own fucking messes. Kind of like, I don't know, what all of our parents or grandparents fucking taught all of us growing up. And yet, like, they literally are like, no, I'm not going to do it. As a matter of fact, it's your fault. You're entitled, and, like, you need better work ethic, even though literally my generation and Zoomers now, most of us are like 2 jobs or more at a time. But we have bad work ethic, and everything is our fault. But everything that is our fault isn't their fault, even though they were the ones who were living during the times when it started, and we're entitled for asking them to clean up the messes that they made, and they taught us to clean up the messes that we made. Something's not adding up here.
And so that is definitely a factor here. Feinstein is an older senator, one of the women who was elected early in the Senate, and now is reaching the end of her career in the Senate. That's part of what's going on.
It's just because of sexism. It's because of misogyny. That's a big part of this. Every single decrepit, rotting carcass who was male, who was still in the Senate or still hanging on in Congress, every single one of them, people were like, all right, dog, it's time to wrap it up. So, remember Robert Byrd? A lot of you guys probably don't. When I was younger, I don't know, it was like a decade ago or maybe a little more than that. Probably more than that. Robert Byrd is a Democrat who, by the way, back in the day was literally in the KKK. So he's so old, he was a Dixiecrat Democrat, like the super racist and openly racist ones, and he was still there. And he was in a wheelchair, he didn't know where the hell he was. And there was plenty of chatter about, oh, that doesn't look good, bro. Time to wrap it up, time to wrap it up, time to wrap it up. People used to talk about Reagan's cognitive health because, you know, he was struggling with dementia later on as well. So the idea that, like, well...
Hold up, that makes me curious. Hang on, that makes me curious. He said Reagan? Even before Ronald Reagan became the oldest elected president. Wow, did not know that, and yet for some reason they worship the motherfucker. But Sleepy Joe, right? Sleepy Joe? Sleepy Joe. Right. Don't think about Ronald Reagan ever. Don't ever think about Ronald Reagan ever being literally the oldest elected president ever. Sleepy Joe, guys. Sleepy Joe, Sleepy Joe, Sleepy Joe, Sleepy Joe, Sleepy... His mental state was a political issue. His adversaries often suggested his penchant for contradictory statements, forgetting names, and seeming absent-mindedness could be linked to dementia. In 1980, Mr. Reagan told me that he would resign the presidency if White House doctors found him mentally unfit. Years later, those doctors and key aides told me they had not detected any changes in his mental abilities while in office. Now, a clever new analysis has found that during his 2 terms in office, subtle changes in Mr. Reagan's speaking patterns linked to the onset of dementia were apparent years before doctors diagnosed his Alzheimer's disease in 1994. Okay, so when was this? Can you give me a year? Reagan elected when? I forget the actual year. 40th president of the United States, 1981 to 1989. So, okay, basically, like, right when he started his fucking term. Right when he started, what, 2 terms? Did he have 2 terms? I forget. No, I think he, wait. That would be 2 terms. Yeah, that's 8 years. Okay. So, so basically, wait, why am I, hold up, why am I even looking this up? Hang on.
To talk about Reagan's cognitive health. Because, you know, he was struggling with dementia later on as well.
Right, okay. That's why I looked him up. That's right. So, like, literally all throughout his presidential career, Reagan was completely, like, mentally unfit. And we just didn't have, like, the instruments and resources that were advanced enough as of yet at that point to be able to detect it accurately and make a quick enough and accurate enough conclusion on his mental capacity as president of the United States. Yet for some fucking reason, yet again, Sleepy Joe, focus on Sleepy Joe, Sleepy Joe, Sleepy Joe, Sleepy Joe, focus on Sleepy. So for some reason, Joe Biden, oh man, like he's bad. He's bad, you know, and you know, he's sleepy. Trump though, oh man, no. He's got the brain of pigeon? I don't know. Hell world be like every president is the oldest president ever. Yeah. Every president is like way too old for the job. So literally from the get-go, Reagan was not fit. So it's interesting that like when we're talking about senators and representatives, Congress people like Dianne Feinstein, suddenly like we're talking about like we're making it like a sexism thing, you know, when like no, she's just fucking old. Like she literally got elected when she was 60 years old. She's 90 now.
So the idea that like, well, when it's a guy whose brain doesn't function, they think that's totally fine. Literally nobody thinks that's fine. Nobody thinks that's fine.
Nobody.
What you're doing here is, I mean, this is like the bastardization of identity politics. Is the idea that you could just, you know, pull the woman card as a weapon to deflect from obviously legitimate criticism. And this is what turns a lot of people off to more reasonable claims vis-a-vis identity, right? Like, I could give you facts about, you know, women's issues or race issues where it's like, yeah, there is still a problem. I mean, look at the drug war. It's definitely racist. It disproportionately targets black and brown people, even though, you know, white people sell drugs just as much, if not more, than black people. Black people are more likely to get arrested for it. White people use drugs at the same rate, but black people are more likely to get arrested for it. Like, we know these things. We know these things. We know these things. Intergenerational wealth, etc. We know these things. So there are real issues there. But when you just, you know, pull out the woman card just to use it as a shield to deflect from the most obviously sincere and correct criticism of all time, you guys look like total hacks, because you are hacks. Let me explain something to you. Dianne Feinstein doesn't know where she is. That's not hyperbole. That's not Kyle trying to juice it up for comedic effect. She was asked by a reporter about the time she was missing, and she was like, what are you talking about? I wasn't missing. I've been here the whole time.
Where are you people? Where am I? Where am I? Why am I here? Have I been here the whole time? Where's my dog Dixon? Never had a dog named Dixon. Imagine if I was like that. Would you ever take me? Well, don't. You guys probably don't take me seriously now, but, you know. But, like, literally, like, would you take me seriously? At all? Even, like, a modicum amount more than you do as is? Probably not. Probably not. You probably would... You'd probably watch me for, like, some kind of morbid entertainment if you're that fucked up. But, you know, you wouldn't watch me for the reasons you watch me now, which is, you know, the orange twitch. You know what I mean? I think it was a bit. You know what? I'm gonna fuck with you guys someday. I'm gonna like, I'm gonna be doing this shit for like decades at some point, and like I'm gonna be like, yo, I can get away with like looking like I got dementia. Yo, let's fuck with my chat a little bit, and then someone would be like, yo, that's actually really fucked up. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that. Like that's really fucked up. I don't know why you would think that'd be funny. And then like I would feel bad, you know, and I'd be like, hey, chat, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that. I'm really sorry. And then I'd feel guilty for, you know, trying to imitate someone with like dementia or Alzheimer's, you know, and, you know, you guys will, you know, probably still be mad at me, understandably so, you know. And then I would feel too ashamed to show my face on the stream again. And then there's the end of Greyecraft. Or I just whip my dick out on stream. Hey, you know what's happening? Just start jerking it like violently, you know? And Twitch would be like, yo, what the hell? Hey, whoa, but ban this old man. Ban him now. To which I'll just be like, dude, I'm like old. Why are you discriminating against people with Alzheimer's? This is ageist and anti-disability. What the fuck's wrong with you? And then I'll get like a sweet Anita kind of case going on where it's like she's got like bad Tourette's, and so like if she says something off color, it's like, hey, well, hold on, she's got Tourette's, you know, she's got tics that make her say some crazy stuff, you know, she can't help it. I'm an old man. I can't help whipping my dick out and masturbating violently and ruthlessly, mercilessly on stream. Hey man, it's set to 18 plus. I could probably get away with it.
What are you talking about? I wasn't missing. I've been here the whole time. They were like, girl, you were gone for months. What are you talking about? You were in the hospital, you had shingles, you had all the complications around it. What are you talking about? You can't say, oh, it's because she's a woman. Because she's a woman, bro. You guys don't even believe that. Come on, you know you don't believe that. She'll sit in meetings and they'll talk about an issue, let's say abortion, and then as soon as that issue's done, she'll bring up the issue of abortion as if you weren't just talking about it. It's just in one ear and out the other. In one ear and out the other. They won't let her wander the hallways alone for fear of where she'd go and what she'd say. They literally have somebody like babysitting her every step of the way. She forgets people's names, people who she's known for decades. Decades! Not only is this not fair to the American people, it's not fair to her.
Exactly.
And when you pull out the identity card in this disgusting and unfair way, you know, you guys are the problem.
You know what? I mean, yeah, no, actually, this is such a base take. I have to fucking piggyback off of this and give you an example of how base this is. Listen, you pulling out the fucking it's because she's a woman card when she definitely has Alzheimer's and has been confirmed having taken Alzheimer's medication since 2017. It's halfway through 2023 at this point. To make it about that is like going up to like abusive parents who beat the shit out of their child and like literally take massive dumps on them, like they literally shit on their child, and like pulling out the card of like, dude, you have no respect for your parents. The fuck is wrong with you, man? You got oppositional defiance disorder. You need to be respectful of your parents' decision to literally like take a sledgehammer to your jaw and then shitting into your eardrums until they burst. Can't believe you. Can't fucking believe you. True, quite a base take. Self-respect pill. Don't let libs say shit like that. No, like for real though. Absolutely, absolutely. This is a bullshit take. on a bullshit subject in regards to a bullshit scenario that shouldn't ever be happening because it's fucking bullshit. This is just dumb. This is just really fucking dumb. Can't believe this shit is like really happening right now. And the fact that we keep coming back to this. Dianne Feinstein just keeps making her way to the fucking headlines, and it's really fucking dumb. I've said this before and I'll say it again. If you are over the age of, well, if you're over the retirement age, you don't get to be in politics. You don't get to be in Congress, period. Whether voted in or you were already voted in, but you're still going to be in office by the time that retirement age comes up, of like 65, 66, 67, somewhere around there. By that point, you just need out. You just need out. I'm sure we can make an exception if it's like, hey, they just got voted back in, they're 64 or 65. By the time their term is up, they will be past the retirement age. Okay, well, just let them, you know, do the rest of their term, but this is their last term, you know what I'm saying? You know, whatever. We're not going to be huge sticklers about it. But, like, for real, though, like, you cannot be old and be drafting and proposing legislation that will literally change potentially the entire future course of people who are my age or younger. If you're 70 years old, you got at best like 15 years left of your fucking life because you're fucking old. I'm 31. I have, if I'm lucky, more than 4 decades on you. I have more than 4 decades left on this planet. You have less than 2. So, mathematically speaking, I deserve more priority than you. Period. You don't get to dictate the country and dictate the rest of my fucking life just because you happen to be in a position of power. And I should not have to deal with your bullshit fucking outdated fucking policies based on outdated worldviews, you know, longer than you're gonna be alive. Like, no. As far as politics is concerned, like, straight up.
I'm gonna drop a hot take that people aren't gonna like.
Fuck old people.